Well, we'll have to see. I mean, I know alternate. I know alternate a little bit, and I could definitely see. Well, the Vikings ban is no surprise here, but possibly an Illidan or a Jaina ban. I know alternate really likes their Zagara play, and they really like Zagara. They like Tyrande a lot, so definitely not too favorable of the primary damage dealers such as Vala. I do know they like Jaina a bit, so we'll have to see. I mean, I'm curious myself.
Yeah, I mean, alternate taking a pretty long time here, as using out all of their initial time here for their first ban, as now it's going to be an Illidan. I mean, kind of expected Illidan, as you said, up there with Valor, Jane of Vikings, four sources of damage, and right now he's just so versatile, can fit into so many team compositions.
Yeah, I yeah, definitely agree. And we have the Jaina pick coming out from ESC. Now, alternate is going to respond here. I feel like they're gonna take Zagara this round or Sylvanas, one of the two. They definitely like those not like a lot of teams will either go for a damage dealer here, either like a traditional one like Vala, or they'll go for something more specialist like Sylvanas or Zagara, or they'll even go for the utility damage support in Tyrande. So I definitely think we're probably going to see more towards the latter of the two. And yeah, we're just going to have to wait here. We're on Cursed Hollow, a very standard map. And wow, actually Malfurion coming out. That's a big surprise. But we
Yeah,
have been seeing a lot of Malfurion in Europe. He has been considered widely to be just a really, really good support. And there's multiple different reasons for that. And wow, actually Vala coming out. So maybe taking a page out of another book.
they just
It's not
skipped
some.
over your chapter.
Yeah, it's just something not typical coming out from ATN, and I mean maybe it'll prove to be more successful for them.
Yeah, now ESC though, they have quite a few options on the board. Of course, they could go for that Sylvanas if they wanted for that specialist kind of hero, especially with the Vikings being banned out. And then they've essentially got their pick of a top tier warrior. They can go for ETC or Diablo here. There's the Sylvanas, and no, they're going to go for the Tyrande instead, just getting that in there early on.
Yeah, I mean Jaina Tyrande, really really nice combo. Just so much burst, and you have the CC as well. Sylvanas being quite potent on this map as well for the lockdown on the building, so you can make a really scary push lane with Sylvanas. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I could definitely see a Zagara coming out for alternate here. I mean, devouring Maw into entangling roots is a really nice combo, and you can really make some nice damage with this. So,
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe even Zagara Diablo there as well.
yeah, and it could the Diablo could be good here to deny Diablo Tyrande from ESC while also kind of setting up a wombo combo of their own with the Zagara and Malfurion. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, they're certainly thinking about this one, probably thinking about both of their picks here, using their time wisely. Um, there is quite a few options on the board for them. Of course, as you said, the Diablo Zagara. Um, they could maybe even just go for an ETC if they want, get that global pressure in there with the stage dive. There's the Zagara. So their damage is more or less sorted here. They just kind of need maybe a third source, maybe a melee hero in there, as well as their warrior. Or we could even see them run double support here and take one of them away from ESC.
We could also see ETC here. I mean, it's likely that ESC probably wants Diablo, but I mean, securing ETC not a hugely bad move here. I mean, even if you wanted to go for Mosh Pit, there's always that devouring Maw into Mosh Pit combo. You don't see that too often, but it's definitely a viable option. And if not for the Mosh Pit, you can always go Stage Dive, which is really really potent for split pushing on this map.
Yeah, but again, they're just going to go past us completely and go for that Muradin, who's actually been seeing quite a bit more play recently.
Yeah, Murden, he's actually being run by a lot of the top teams in the game right now. Over in NA,
Yeah,
Cloud9 Maelstrom really, really likes Murden. And you also have Team Liquid, largely considered to be, I mean,
the
they
best
just
team
won
in the world.
DreamHack.
Yeah.
Yeah, largely considered to be the best team. And, yeah, they also love their Murden, Lucifron being a very big Muradin player, but actually it's going to be a Stitches comp coming out of ESC, having that hook and Lunar Flare combo coming out from Stitches and Tyrande. Really, really cool things here.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely really eager to see Stitches come back, and this is the comp to put him in.
Yeah, definitely. So this is something that EG used to run oh so well with, I believe, ZPs and Cawthorn Luck in one of their most recent iterations of that roster, and they would just get picks everywhere on the map, and they'd just be so successful. Add the Uther in there as well, and you could either go hook into Hammer or hook into Lunar Flare. If you go hook into the Uther stun, you've of course got that extra bit of window of opportunity with the Tyrande to actually nail that Lunar Flare. But ATN for their last pick, they probably add a little bit more damage to their roster here, but what options are really left for them?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, they might have to go something a little bit lower tier here. I'm trying to think what options are even available at this point. They may pick
Zeratul, potentially.
Oh yeah,
Boom.
Zeratul there, and I mean it's kind of crazy when you're doubling up on that Void Prison and Maw, so you have a lot of options for just splitting up a team, and it can be really helpful against. It could actually be kind of helpful against the Stitches comp, I feel.
Yeah, and we've also got that. We've got a lot of damage coming out from ESC with their Jaina, with their Sylvanas, and if their hook doesn't work or their CC chain doesn't work and they don't get that initial pick, they're still pretty strong in team fights as well.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that the Zeratul pick with Void Prison, you might be able to just engage onto ESC. I mean, when you're a Stitches comp, you really don't want to get engaged on. You just want to go for picks, and Void Prison can be a good, hard setup for just engaging on ESC. And you also have the option of Maw as well. So, yeah, it's definitely some interesting comps coming out here. There's always the option of going melee Zeratul as well. I mean, there are quite amount of squishy targets on the side of ESC, and melee Zeratul has been getting a little bit more popular as of late.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, I think I've seen 2 or 3 Zeratul's go for that Shadow Assault heroic. But, of course, when you've got the Maw in there, I mean, the VP is such a great setup, and the pick potential against a Stitches comp. You hit the nail on the head. If you're running a Stitches, you do not want to get engaged upon. The only disengage that this Stitches comp really has is maybe that Putrid Bile for the slow, and that's about it, I think.
Yeah, Putrid Bile being still a pretty potent heroic in my mind, and yeah, it can definitely be used to disengage quite a bit, but yeah, you gotta be really, really careful when you're playing a Stitches comp. I mean, I feel like not having ETC is actually good for ESC. Sorry, saying alternate not having ETC is probably good for ESC because they don't have that option to just stage dive on top of the Stitches team. They have Muradin, so I mean, yeah, Muradin is a strong pick, but he's not going to be as hard engage of a hero as say an ETC.
Yeah, I mean, with the Muradin there, of course, you've got that pick potential with the Hammer. But apart from that, he's just a big, bulky frontliner that acts as disruption. And if he can jump in and disrupt the enemy team as they're trying to disengage, then he can get some great picks off, follow that up with Zeratul, with the Zagara, then certainly so. But actually getting into the fray may not be the best.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm just trying to imagine a hook by ESC. If they don't quickly eliminate the target in one crowd control, I feel that there's so many options between Void Prison and Maw to just get away kind of there. Just kind of just blow one of those heroics and then you're okay. And then you can kind of just take a normal fight there.
Yeah, but we are now loading in to the second match of today, this time between ESC and Team Alternate. Game 1, we saw Wellmet take a very easy game up against Disqualified. They won on this map in 8 minutes, and hopefully this game is set up to be a much closer affair.
Yeah, definitely going to be a much better game than the first one we had. These are definitely some more top of the teams in EU. Alternate obviously being a esports organization that's been around for a while, and ESC it
Yeah,
has been as well.
ESC are actually a really nice German org. Um, when I played, we were talking with them quite a bit, and they are really nice, very laid back, take a very casual approach to it, but want to be at the top. And this is a team that they could certainly potentially do that with. As on the right hand side, we do have the team of ESC, Anti-Hero on the Stitches, Snow on the Jaina, Nebze on the Uther, Gerdem Herd on the Tyrande, and Invidium there playing the Sylvanas.
The battle begins in 10 seconds.
Have you muted your mic?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. And on the left side of the map, as the blue team, we have Team Alternate, Malfurion, Krolu on Malfurion, Guccio on Zagara, Dark Wanix on Vala, Nande on Zeratul, and Gluehammer on Muradin.
As we have Anti-Hero here going for the Party Bush setup, of course, on the Stitches.
Yeah, pretty common tactic, especially when you have some nice heroes like this for setting up kills early on. So Stitches, Jaina, and Tyrande looking to maybe strike first blood. And yeah, just heading up to the top lane here, as we have Muradin actually in the bottom lane against the Sylvanas, and a tri-lane in top between Vala, Zagara, and Malfurion.
Yep, as Stitches here actually has two very nice targets to hook. If he can get one onto the Zagara or the Malfurion, you'd like to think that's going to be a lot of damage down very quickly.
Yeah, so in the top lane here, we do have this tri-lane versus tri-lane. On the side of Alternate, it's more of a pushing style lane. And on the side of ESC, it's a kill lane. They have that Stitches, they have the Tyrande and the Jaina. So one hook could mean an instant death for one of these heroes. So Alternate has to be very careful while applying pressure to the lane.
Yep, as already they're getting pushed up to their gate and towers. They're going to need to wave clear this quickly, and this is what Zagara and Vala do so well. They push these lanes so quickly, so fast, and we can see they've already used a lot of ammo from these structures.
Yeah, and I mean, Stitches has his hookup. Will he go for it? Yes, it's going down onto Guccio. Will he get picked off? No, just not enough damage there. But very, very nice attempt by ESC to get that kill.
Yep. Elsewhere in the bottom lane, Invidium's actually been poking Gluehammer out quite a bit on that Muradin, down to a pretty low health. There we see his trait pop in to get him some more regen. Mid lane's Nebze's having a pretty rough time against the Zeratul, but Uther can't really do too much in a lane as it is, and going up against the Zeratul, it's a pretty easy lane for the Cloaked Templar there.
Yeah, and we do have the mercenaries spawned now. No team really budging, just kind of staying in the triple lane setup, and obviously the mid and bottom lane will remain as well. Another hook going down, but no hit on that.
That was pretty close to hitting Guccio there. Luckily for him, he did dodge that one out, and it's tribute time. This is going to be in this top half of the map where the tri-lanes are already set up. You see Gerdem Herd already scouting out here, and this is where it gets scary for Alternate, because Anti-Hero now has more or less a free path to hook someone. If he does land it, then it can really spell disaster.
Yeah, and we already have Anti-Hero going for the gather, but he is going to be interrupted constantly.
There's the hook onto Guccio, followed by the stun and the Hunter's Mark into the Blizzards as well. Perfect combo for them. Nande is here, however, so we're back to a 3-on-3. Nebze is behind, but very, very low, and could in fact get taken down here. Does get the stun onto Nande. Anti-Hero blocking out quite a bit of damage here for Nebze to escape safely. Snow trying to get some damage here down onto Dark 1x. Doing a substantial amount, but Krolu keeping him healed up.
Yeah, and just a bit of a standoff here. We do have the Muradin and Sylvanas still in the bottom lane, and Sylvanas applying a good amount of pressure down there, but yeah, we just have both tri-lanes kind of vying for this tribute still.
Yep, Snow taking a lot of damage there from the Zeratul, who was just patiently waiting for someone to start capping it.
And we still have Zeratul and Zeratul roaming back down now to the mid lane to match the experience of Uther. ESC did gain an experience lead here because of the soak from Uther, and yeah, it's just A constant standoff here, but now ESC on level 7, going to pick up some talents. Tenderizer in the game, now Cleanse, Follow Through, Battle Momentum, and Frostbitten for the side of ESC, and that's going to be the first tribute of the game going over to them.
As soon as they hit level 7, we saw Alternate just fall back straight away. They wanted nothing to do with it, and that was essentially A, because of the kill, and B, because of the Uther soak in the mid lane, but Invidium getting his push on and getting a kill in this bot lane, now joined by Nunde, dodging out. Just going to be using his shadows to get away.
Yeah, Invidium actually putting that Envenom onto Muradin, getting him low enough health, and then giving him the death sentence of that Envenom. Even though Gluehammer was able to get away, he died to the damage over time. So really nice pickup there by Invidium.
Yep, as in this mid lane, Gluehammer just using his Q to get rid of the ammo on the towers, and of course get a lot of damage down because he has gone for that QQQ build now. 400 damage, 400% damage to minions and structures and mercenaries, destroys 4 ammo from structures, and he's going to do it again. But in this top lane, Anti-Hero setting up for a hook. Not going to find that.
Yeah, nice little attempt there, even though it didn't play out. It's always good to do plays like this on a when you're playing Stitches. But now we do have the lane swap between Muradin, from Muradin to Zeratul. They put Zeratul in the bottom lane to deal with that Sylvanas a little bit better. I guess Gluehammer felt like he could not deal with the pressure of Sylvanas, getting picked off earlier in the game. But yeah, we have another tribute, the second tribute of the game spawning now here.
Yep, as we're going to have a 4v4 engage here. Zeratul's going to come up a lot quicker than the Sylvanas. Nunde's already here, going to go on to Gerdem Herd. Gets the slow off, following up with a cleave, as that's the tribute going over to Alternate. And the lane swap with the Muradin as well is that now Uther cannot deal with the poke from Muradin onto the structures, whereas before Invidium was forcing him away very quickly. But now Gluehammer, he can just walk straight past Nebze in this mid lane, as we're going to see him do again. Use his Q on the tower, and there we go, it's out of ammo already.
Yeah, and we do have a big roam coming down here on the mid lane. Maybe in an attempt to pick off Gluehammer here. He is in a very dangerous position. And yeah, he was going for a poke onto the tower, but now he's getting caught out.
Yep, Divine Storm being used. He's taken very low already. Anti-Hero just holding onto this hook. Gluehammer knows that he can jump away, and he tries to, but Water Elemental being used to secure that one. Really nice play there from ESC, realizing where Alternate were weak, what they are about to do, predicting it so well, and that's what they get for it, a nice easy kill.
Yeah, just a bit risky of a play there by Gluehammer. Needed to be a little bit more aware of the rotation down from the top lane of ESC, but now we did have the Giants coming out in the top lane from Team Alternate, and yeah, they're going to apply a little bit of pressure here as Alternate finally hits that level 10 mark, so they should be able to contest this tribute.
Yep, this is in the bot lane. We now see Gerd and Snow roaming on down here, and Heroes again gonna get the channel off to start things off. Dodges away, Nebze getting stunned up, taking a lot of damage already from the single target hunt killers from Zagara. And of course, the Uther damage. They need to stop Guccio here. They try and go onto Nunde. He's just going to blink away, and that's the second tribute going over to Alternate as we see a Starfall into Putrid Bar. Wailing Arrow hitting 3 players there. Nunde cannot blink away. They're going to go onto him, but the 4-man more is going to come. Snow isolated as well into the root. That's exactly what you were talking about with the Rain of Vengeance coming on top as well. And now Snow, last man standing. That's the perfect wombo coming out of Alternate.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that, actually. That was an incredible wombo combo, and you just can't get mod by that many heroes, or that many, you cannot get mod that many heroes. It's just, oh man, so much damage going down. Just the Rain of Vengeance follow-up, just entangling roots, just perfect execution there by Alternate.
And the VP was great as well, just isolating Snow. Kind of like a safety measure there, I guess. If they'd have left him, they could have maybe focused him down and got the kill, but they wanted to be safe. They wanted to put all their attention onto those 4 heroes in the Moras. We're now going to see a trade of Grave Golems.
Yeah, and we do have the Bruisers being taken here by Alternate, and Alternate actually putting a little bit of pressure with the Grave Golem as well, so definitely a slight bit of a lead here for Alternate, and the Grave Golem also coming out now, but we do have the fourth tribute of the game spawning in the top lane.
Yeah, and Alternate, they're more than happy just to give this one to ESC because it's then going to be 2v2 and they're just going to push this bot lane with the Grave Golem. They're going to take away the Siege Giants as well, and we could see a very early base race where Alternate are already ahead and have their eyes set on this keep.
Yeah, this Grave Golem is very healthy still, so they can definitely secure a keep wall here. Going to start opening up on that now, and we got to consider ESC is not yet on that level 13 talent tier, but they have the option to go for a pick. So Alternate has to be really careful to not get hooked.
Yep, Gluehammer doing a great job there, frontlining alongside the Grave Golem. They're getting back as now we see ESC hitting that level 13 as the talents come in. Of course, sprint on Jaina. We're seeing the overflowing light, which has become such a staple on Tyrande right now.
Yeah, overflowing light, giving that extra healing, which can be so very useful. But we do have ESC now on that level 13 talent here. Anti-hero looking for some kind of hook here. It's going down onto Gluehammer, no follow-up. And yeah, it's looking like Alternate's gonna turn.
Blinking in here, trying to get some damage down onto Gerdam Herd. Starfall being used for that disengage. And it's done somewhat to slow them down. The Water Elemental also being used. That's 2 heroics down for 1. As the one was the Tranquility, so should ESC get another pick and take an engage here, that heal from Malfurion is going to be on cooldown, and it could open up a window of opportunity, but the more the VP and the Rain of Vengeance are of course all still there.
Yeah, I really didn't like the turn by Alternate there. They did have the Grave Golem doing significant damage to their top keep. So while they still have their keep, it's very, very low. But we have a fight here.
Yep, Antihero taking a lot of damage using that Devour to get his health back up. They're going to get the hook onto Guccio as well. That's exactly what they wanted. But 3 of their members being isolated by this Void Prison. They could follow it up with a more. But there it is. Everyone but Invidium there getting caught in that one. Wailing Arrow going through, just hitting Prolu. Rain of Vengeance gets 1, gets 2. And now Gluehammer's going to keep on chasing here onto Nebze along with Dark One X. They're going to try and get onto the Uther here. Retreat pings are coming in. Nebze getting very low. Nunde blinking in, and that's the easy pick up there. 3 for 0 in favour of Alternate, and ESC really just getting outpicked here. They're taking these fights and then Alternate turning, and they're just getting the perfect turns.
Yeah, really, really nice play again by Alternate to go. They can get that wombo combo here, and it's going to mean a bottom keep for Alternate. ESC losing their bot keep, that is going to be a major loss in the game for them. And not only that, but Alternate about to hit that level 16 talent here.
Yep, and they're going to rotate towards this mid lane to probably push out this mid keep as well. Uther is still down, or they could take an invade onto the hard camp. The Grave Golem's up in 2 minutes, so that's not the target. Looks like they just want to play this one safe and go and get the top fort for the easy XP. Or they can just go and grab the hard camp.
Yeah, definitely a good option here, I guess. It's a little bit risky because of the option of a hook here, but they did put that Creep Tamer down in the brush, so really nice pickup there to get the Bruisers, and now they're going to actually set their sights on the top fort.
Yeah, which again should be a pretty easy pickup. They are still cursed, of course, the ESC, so just going to get so much XP from this push up here. And as you said, the level 16 talents have come in. We've got that Stone Form from Muradin, the double bombs coming out of Zeratul. Of course, they did get nerfed a little bit 1 or 2 patches ago, but still getting picked quite often enough there on the Zeratul. Blood for Blood on Valor, of course, increases her pill potential, means that she can chase more as well, and keeps herself sustained up, because Malfurion may not always be enough.
And Alternate getting a little bit aggressive here, knowing that ESC is in the top lane, a little bit split up. And yeah, I mean, Alternate has that level 16 talent here, so they're not afraid to take a fight. The one thing they should be afraid of is the hook, so yeah, just smartly backing off now that ESC is now on level 16 and has that kind of defensive advantage there.
Yep, we see the Grave Golem for Alternate is up in 13 seconds, but they're going to set up a party bush. Pings are coming out already from the team of ESC. They have a rough idea of what's going on here, as Antihero might set up a hook here, and he could definitely get one. Gluehammer going to show himself as he's actually going to go in behind here. Gluehammer still mounted up, goes on to Antihero, does get the Slav, followed by the stun. Antihero taking a lot of damage. Starfall coming down as well. Tenacious Roots are going to stop Antihero for a little bit. Nebze is the next target. They go on to Nunde. The VP coming out as Zeratul is going to fall, and ESC already take the lead here with this one. Nebze still running away in the healing ward of Gerdam Hurt. Uther now falls. Can now still, of course, provide a lot of healing for the rest of his team. Gluehammer, though, such a tanky frontliner right now, and Snow can't really do anything here at all.
Yeah, I mean, even though Uther is providing that healing, it's still ESC on the retreat, and a Maw catching Snow there, and Anti-Hero going down as well, and Snow is just going to get absolutely massacred, and that is going to be 3 for 1, and, or, yeah, sorry, 3 for 1, and, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Alternate here could have pushed and tried to get some damage down onto the core, but of course not wanting to go for that one just yet. Instead they're going to take the safe option, go for their Grave Golem, and they could then go for the aggressive play of the enemy's Grave Golem too.
Yeah, but the only thing is here, I guess it might be a little bit too early, but you always got to consider that win condition. If you can take a Grave Golem in a lane where your enemy does not have a keep, then it is very, very strong. It forces them to defend their core, and you can always attempt to go for a core rush with a Golem plus 5 heroes, but we do have ESC attempting to take their Grave Golem. Will they be able to finish it in time? Alternate is trying to get here to contest it.
It's going to be tight. Nunde blinking in here. He doesn't have a VP up. They're just going to go straight on here. Starfall being used. Stitches is going to fall, and Nebsay needs to get on there, but he can't because of the roots. Wailing Arrow hitting a lot of members there. Water Element being used as well. Get him Herds next to full. Stun being used from Uther there, getting good few members, but Snow now is essentially a sitting duck. Tenacious Roots being used. That's a dead Jaina. The Grave Golem already on the core of ETC. 4 members have fallen down, just Invidium left. It looks like this is going to be the game now in favor of Alternate.
Yeah, double Grave Golems. I mean, you just can't get caught in that situation. You have to defend your core, and if you get caught out like that with a Grave Golem going towards your core with no keep to defend it, I mean, that's just going to be the end of the game for you. So really, really nice play coming out from Alternate, and a nice composition as well. Really impressed with how they executed that.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you on that one. I think the turning point there was the fight in that bot lane, where it was, I believe it was the second tribute of the game, and we saw the 4-man Maw with the VP being used to isolate Snow out, and then everything just came together there.
Yeah, definitely interesting to have Void Prison and Devouring Maw on the same